Oh yeah, Boogie percent. What is it? Annual? He's in it every year. Perennial? I don't know what you call that, but kKraes is in this every year. I think he's done it since year one. kKraes is always in it. Gotta love it. So good to see this one. Oh, 2018. My bad, my bad. I thought you were in before that. I'm trying to think. The first year we did this is probably 2016. Anyway.
Temple, I'm sorry that I'm late.
Oh, no worries, Hunter. Happy to have you.
Thank you very much.
GG's on
Yeah,
the win.
still a little out of breath from that one. So.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Even the first race, like my heart was pounding, dude. Like,
Yeah, these two races have definitely exceeded my expectations, and I hope that we go 3 for 3 tonight.
all right, I'm gonna get this thing started.
Shout outs to Chris to doing the names 420 Lamau.
Gotta love the memes.
I see chat's getting a little rowdy. We may have to do some banning. I'm not sure.
I'll get right on that.
Thank you, sir.
But yeah, take the helm, Hunter. I'm gonna kick back. I'll be watching.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we've got a good one. We've got a nice minute and 8 cutscene. Thinking about all the strategy you're gonna do. Getting right into it. I do want to say shout outs to Temple for the read streams tonight, doing 3 back-to-back. Commentary on the first one, and thank you to RJ for doing commentary on the second. Really appreciate that. What's Chris's PB? Let's find out. Give me 1 second. So we got James with, oh, I guess he never submitted it, but it's a 104. Oh, there it is. Yeah, he's got a 104.39, and Chris has a 106.13. So it is PB to PB, a very close setup here. And again, both of these runners won the first round. That's why they're paired up together this round. So both of them know how to win this thing. We're going to have a good one. Looks like both runners having a real nice, clean first hill climb. It looks like they're within a second of each other right now. Trying to get a good reference. Yeah, it's still within a second. So good tuck to Pokey. Heading back down to Mom. Hill climb racing, very much so. My frame of reference is a 236 tuck to Mom. Chris got it. James got it. Can't ask for much more. They're both on the right pace. No extra bonks on trees. No extra talks to anything. No NPCs getting in the way. It's a good setup. But they didn't check the mail. Was there any mail? If there wasn't any mail, then I would say that what they're doing is better. No, there was no mail, so I never have any mail. Let's check that Mom RNG. Mom, come to the right. They both get pretty equal. Mom wants to go feed the dog at 3 in the morning. Looks still very tied. I think both of these runners are going to do in front of Couch. Oh no, Chris is going to go behind. James is going behind. 2 runners behind the Couch. Oh my gosh. I'm excited. And I think Chris took a slight half a second lead. Both getting equal crows. Spawn plate 1, no issue. James had a little bit of a spawn plate 2 issue. James is getting a few of these extra. I think they're 5% plate spawns. But both getting some pretty good 100% plate right there. So on to the next one. James is going to drag him over, get behind the trees. Chris is going to despawn until it's free. And that is a good hill climb by both runners. Depending on what else goes on in the run, I'm going to go ahead and say G to both of these runners right there. A 503 and a 504 for Talk to Picky. Great stuff. If they're really after my heart, they'll do some Poke Pools. James did a little bit of one, Chris did not, so... Oh well. Oh, but Chris is going to do the visual glitch. If you don't know, if you have 2 controllers, or if you have the controller in the second port, it can do anything that the controller in the first port can do for Earthbound. However, it does have just the occasional glitch visually when you're pressing select repeatedly, and the meteorite flash is one of them. So appreciate you, Chris, for showing that off for us. If you've been watching the past 2 races, you know that this walk is now free, there's no enemies. Grab the bread roll and go fight Starman Jr. I'm pretty much banking on Buzz to do all the damage. You're trying to get to 200 as fast as you can, hoping that Buzz does at least an average of 100 a turn, so we can get him down in 2 hits. I think I had a 4-turn hit in my first race last week. So let's hope we don't get that again on this one. No fires. On guard at 113. That's really good for Chris. Got a fire for James. But a good 106 hit. So we're doing good there. And an on guard. So James is caught back up a bit. Another guard for Chris. Another guard for James. And wow. I think that was a 724 or so Starman kill for Chris. That is an amazing time. I think that's actually ahead of world record. James, unfortunately, getting a 3-turn fight against Starman Jr. And the smash that makes you feel bad on turn 3. But it was a 750. That's a really solid Starman Jr. time. I'm always aiming for sub 18 or sub 815. So I would definitely be happy with a 750, but a 724 or very close to that. Excellent stuff by Chris there. Both runners just doing a little bit of mashing through here. Next area we're really going to pay attention is the walk down to O-Net. Not too much to pay attention there, you just don't want any enemies. Or if you do get enemies, you're trying to figure out how to get around them or despawn them as fast as possible. Chris got the snake. Gonna set her away from it. Otherwise, a clean walk. Chris is gonna retain the lead for this time. James, yeah, he's going to use the tree to his advantage, stutter, and then get the snake stuck there. Good stuff. He didn't save as much time as he was hoping for, but I would say he probably saved 1 to 2 seconds on Chris over that exchange. Grab the burger along the way, and then go over and get some new equipment. And not to sound like a broken record, but Chris is gonna run right into the hospital, get that sweet spawn skip, and then go say hi to the Pogo Punk. I think they have 35 HP, so usually it takes 3 hits. Or you can just smash the Pogo Punk, you know, that's an option as well. Regular text versus italic. What do you mean? Ooh, fruit juice! Reviving that sweet 6 HP. Oh, on the timers, gotcha. James on Pogo 1, Chris on Pogo 2. James got a smash, but again, I think that was last turn. Not really a big help there. Chris making good work of Pogo 2. I think I saw offense up by 6, so that's going to be really helpful on Frank. James opting to auto fight on Pogo 2. Good stuff. Chris opting to auto fight on the Yes Man Jr. And he's down. Bread roll for Chris. He gets to keep all his life ups and burgers for Frank. That's good. Meanwhile, James gets through Yes Man Jr. The first turn miss against Frank makes you feel really good. Makes you feel like you can really handle this fight. But the 19 damage, it should be about 4 hits to kill Frank. That's 3 hits for Chris. It looks like James needs 4 as well, I would say. Maybe 5, depending on how the rolls go. Yeah, let's go with 5 hits. And now Frank's down for James. A smash on Frankenstein for Chris. That's going to speed things up a lot. Chris going through what I believe was his last burger, but he's still down Frankenstein at 13:10. That is excellent timing. James is only a few seconds behind. James downing him at 13:25. So we're about 15 seconds behind. That's obviously no time at all in this game, and sub 13:30 Frankenstein for both these runners. That is some solid stuff. So you gotta appreciate that both the Sharks as well as Frank and Frankenstein behaved the way you wanted. That you were able to keep going without a death. Definitely getting a low 13 for both of these runners. Continuing on. trying to explain Frankenstein Mark II, like its turn order. I think we go with the term semi-scripted here, where every odd turn, turn 1, turn 3, turn 5, it just blows smoke. And then turn 2, it'll always do a light hit you for about 15 HP. Turns 4 and 6 and so on, past that, it has the option of a light hit or the heavy hit doing closer to 30. So based off that and our knowledge of the rolling HP, we get to a turn where it could do a hit, and we have around 23 to, let's say, 30 HP. We're probably going to do a life up there or whatever healing item we have. If we have less than that, we definitely need to be healing before the turn that we're on, before the hit gets coming up. Both these runners taking out cash, gonna fill their inventory with burgers. Boss RNG, to the best of my knowledge, again, chat, correct me if you know better, you have different RNG going on in the game. Your movement affects RNG 3. Every so often, RNG 3 affects RNG 1 and 2. You also have NPC movements that affect it. You have text on the screen that affects it. And it compares all those RNGs to a given state, and it says RNG 1, 2, 3, 4, Ant rolls a smash. RNG 2, 3, 5, 7, Ant does a magnet. That's the way I understand it. By all means, anyone knows better, correct me, but we'll go with that for now. 22 slugs, coming in packs of 4. Chris finding a nice fast one real quick, and also has really good high defense, only taking 3 HP per hit. That's really good. Yeah, James having a lot of rats on screen and deciding to stutter past them all. Yeah, 3 HP. Yeah, in the first battle. Actually, both of them. James has 3, is getting hit for 3 HP as well. So both these runners are getting some really high defense rolls right now, which is going to make it less frequent on their life ups. It's going to make them feel a bit safer. So that's really good for them. So I think both the runners are on their second pack. I think James only took a 3-pack there. So this is technically 7 for James, 8 for Chris. It's a really close race right now. Chris is going to set up the rat. I don't think he's quite happy with where that rat is on the cliff. Oh, he's actually just going to spawn from the top. That way he doesn't even have to worry about it. James pulled the rat off of the cliff when he saw the other 4-pack, so he's going to have to reset him up. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, but something to consider. So with that, James takes the lead. A little bit of RNG in his favor, finding that 3rd slug pack. But Chris has found one as well. Chris is right on his heels. James running that HP really low. He's banking on the fact that nothing weird's gonna happen, like no hypnosis like this. Okay, but he's gonna get out of it with 5. Chris getting another 4-pack, so I believe that puts him at 16. James getting lucky on coming out of the cave to another 4-pack, so I think that puts him at 15. Looks like Chris is going to opt to get more slugs on the first level. You can get them up on the 2nd and 3rd levels, but there's also a chance that they are not slugs. And this spawn plate is so conducive to spawning slugs that a lot of runners just decide to continue on right here. I think James got another 3-pack, if I'm not mistaken, so that would put him at 18, which is actually kind of nice if there's not another 4th one here. Because, yeah, that's going to go right to 22 right there. I think Chris is on 20. And there's the final pack for Chris. So James has 20 offense. He's looking for +4 here on the level up. He got 3, so only 23 offense. Won't be able to one-shot any ants. He does a check himself to confirm. So he's gonna have to definitely stutter some ants at the second part of the cave. I believe Chris was at 20 as well, so he's now at 24. Wouldn't be surprised if he checks as well, but he should be good to go. James getting an unfortunate fight where he got basically pincered in giant step. That's not a really common thing to get pincered on the rope like that. Luckily, he got rid of that Antoid before the Antoid did too much damage, calling for help and anything like that. Now, if you could just hit the mouse. There we go. So James definitely getting the bit of scarier situations. Yep, there goes Chris checking his offense. It is 24. Both runners are level 8, so James is just trying to get a clear path to get out of here. James is going to stutter with a whole lot of spawns. Luckily, he was able to do it. Chris getting that instant win. And a cookie. I appreciate Chris dropping the cookie immediately, because you got muscle memory that is, you get hit, you cursor up to the bottom burger, and you might cursor up to a cookie, and so he has decided to throw that away. And he actually, I don't know, I would assume he got that burger to fill up his inventory. It actually worked out really well in that case. Yeah, he's definitely gotten good. He's been doing a lot of pajama percent over the year, I believe, and obviously these runs as well. And I'm here for his runs. I'm here for the improvements. Very good. Love the outspeed on the Rockin', 75 HP. James right behind him, a much lower roll on the Rockin', but we can still work with it. So Chris is about 160 between his two Rockins. He's got about 75 HP to go. James is closer to 140, so he's got about 100 to go. It's about the difference of 1 additional hit, or 2 if you have the shield, which Chris's ant now does. So Chris is now only doing 10 damage per hit instead of 20. Oh, both ants had a shield. An ant puts the shield back on for James. James needs a smash or just to finish the fight at this rate. Chris gets out with a 23, looks like a 16 to me. And so that is an extremely solid time. Chris getting through ant fight, good stuff. I think he took it a bit more aggressively than your standard bash heal. So good thing that worked out. And we are through the ant fight. James is down to just 2 burgers. I don't know how much HP left we have to go. James is now down to 1 burger. And the smash! Thank you, Ant. So last burger for James. Let this one be the one. Wow. Ant is down. I'm sure James is already sighing with relief from going through all the burgers and having 9 HP when the ant goes down. But we carry on. Both have a really good time. I don't know if Chris needs to go buy more burgers, but James definitely will. And I see James's emote, the Ness head, in chat. Gotta love it. So yeah, James's ant shielded at least 3 times I saw, smashed at least once. Obviously did plenty of light hits that he had to heal with all the burgers. So definitely a scary fight, and yeah, we are all glad that he made it through. Looks like both runners are going to get more burgers. This is where withdrawing a little bit of extra money helps out. Chris is able to grab 2 extra burgers without having to ATM for any more money, saving just maybe, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds on that transaction, so that's good stuff. Making his way on down to the cops. Oh, very true. If the worst one is you have max HP on Ant, you lead with the rockin', Ant smashes turn 1, and then hits you turn 2. If you don't outspeed turn 2, there's nothing you can do, and that's the death. And unfortunately, that's some RNG you just can't outthink. James gonna buy the burgers he can with the amount of money he has as well. All right, so for cops, you got 75 HP. You're trying to get them down in 3 hits apiece, and you're gonna heal typically anywhere below 55, maybe 60 if you're trying to be safe. And then if you get significantly below that number, you might switch from burgers to life up. There is a chance that a cop could do a smash attack, and that'll hit you for about 45. I would say typically we don't plan for that because it is pretty rare, and it would just take forever and every healing item under the sun. So unfortunately, we just hope that works at the right time. Good smash from Chris, getting through that. I think that was cop 3 and a burger drop. James getting through cop 1. I agree with James on the life up there. You were down to 29 HP at the time you started it. Chris is down to just 2 burgers left. So he's definitely going to have to watch that going to the last cop, and or excuse me, that was the last cop for him, so he's just got strong left. James got a smash on cop 2, but it was actually only for 74 HP, so his offense is a little low, and therefore if he led with a turn 1 smash, it wouldn't actually kill the cop, which is kind of demoralizing. Got 3 rockin' 30 psychic points for strong. You can do a life up as well as some rockins. That's really good for Chris. And 28-15, strong is down for Chris. GG on that. Good time. Very good time on Onet. And James is through all the cops. He's just got strong. 140 HP. 2 rockins should do it. We're looking for 86 on the second rockin. We got about 18 HP left to go. And there you go. Strong is down for James. 29-10. Good stuff for both runners. If all RNG is perfect, the fastest. Yeah, I mean, if all RNG is perfect, you could probably get into the 100, 101, but there's always just that one split that you. Everything else can go amazingly, and you don't even realize that one split has gone slightly bad until you start noticing it on the split timers. Chris withdrawing money, doing his safety save. Not safety save, I always call it that, but it's a planned death warp save. We'll die and come back to this point, saving us some time. James getting a bit of unfortunate mushroom RNG, so I agree with despawning that bottom one. That was good stuff there. Hannibal in chat saying that Carpainter missed him 20 times. Isn't that a great feeling? I feel like I know that. I feel like I have felt that myself. For those that aren't aware, I actually did the count after my run that just happened, and I had a 19-turn Carpainter. Luckily, I had enough healing items that I didn't die there, but boy was I feeling it as we went along. That's why I was late for the commentary here, because I was counting the number of turns that battle took. Chris could have gone for that butterfly there, but he knows that there'll be plenty more along the way, so he's gonna look for another one that's maybe a bit more in his way. Yeah, I think there's a few people with a sum of best Boogey percent around 59. I do want to mention that, obviously not talking tasks or anything, but with those 59s, there's often things that happen that can't all happen together. For example, maybe you got a couple life noodles or something and you saved 10 seconds. Well, in a normal run, you wouldn't have that. Or maybe you got more level ups on one split and not on another, So 59 would be like, I would be very much questioning a run that came in the 59s. I mean, I'd honestly be questioning anything below a 102 now, and even 102s, I'm quite skeptical. I actually try and look through them as well as I can, just to make sure nothing interesting is going on there. Yeah, the butterflies. If you get a butterfly on one split versus another, that's a big savings. Chris has found one butterfly. Needs to get a second one. For if you get down to, let's say, sub 105 times and you're trying to PB or even world record, the category can get really frustrating. If you are, yeah, all categories are frustrating. If you are at that level and then you're doing a race like this, I consider it more fun that way, personally, because I like seeing Heiko get ahead of me and then me get ahead of Heiko. I like the fighting back and forth. But definitely you push yourself so far and then does 2 heavy hits in a row when you don't plan it. In a race, you would plan it, but in a PB attempt, you wouldn't. So you have issues where something like that would kill you, and it's pretty demoralizing, to be perfectly honest with you. But all right, Chris is starting a fun section, PRV. Get up to this pencil and erase it. When he starts to make the turn downward, that's where I really start to pay attention to all the enemies. See, just like that, like he barely moved left. He moved left, I don't know, 1 nest width, and there's already enemies behind him. That plate is furious. Chris opting not to do, I won't say a spawn skip, it's just a spawn option, I'll call it, because you can go up to the tree and go around that hill there, and I think it goes from, it's either 2 or 3 spawns down to 1. So I think James will probably do it, but it's not a skip, it's just less odds in general. James starting PRV as well. I would say these runners are maybe a minute apart, which if we know car painter fights, that's nothing. It could be a car painter fight. Chris got there at 36 flat. Yeah, you see James going around the hill there to get the better spawn option. Chris stepping on Sneck. James getting a bit aggressive, going around the tree. He knew that as long as he didn't get stuck on anything or get pincered from above, he was going to be all right. James doing a check, and the check, good work there, getting the UFO stuck on the side. So it is down to 38 seconds between the 2 runners. Good stuff. I'm really happy with the level of play from both these runners right now. I was worried that the game would say race 1 and race 2 were so good that race 3 now we're just gonna crap all over it. But really, game 3, it might even be a better pace than the other 2. I'm not even sure what pace I just had, to be honest. Maybe we can find out here. But they both exited PRV in the 36s. And I exited PRV in the 36s as well. So we're looking at potentially 107s, 106 paces right here. This is really solid. Ooh, 116 on Cultist A. They have 94 Oh, that was the second turn. I'm sorry. I looked away for just a second. But Chris getting through the Cultist shack fight without too much issue, I would say. And James starting his. So again, 94 HP. The Rockin' averages 80, so we're hoping for above average rolls. There's a really good roll, and then there's a really bad roll. So between the 2 rolls together, that was about an average Rockin', but 114 on one range of the spectrum and the 48 on the other end of that range. Chris getting the Janet spawn. Janet blocking him in the door. Getting in on the second try. Chris starting the second cultist fight. It's just a single cultist. You're hoping that he doesn't call for help. We're just gonna bash him out. If he calls for help, probably switch over to Rockins. Looks like we're good for Chris. James is right on his tail. Don't call for help. Good. All right, James is through as well. Good stuff. All right, Car Painter, 262 HP. You're hoping for most of that to be done by these lightning reflex. That was about half right there, but he's going to life up on turn 2, as planned. So, yeah, about 130 to go. Oh, we had extra Rockins. I didn't even notice. One more Rockin should do it. Didn't even need the Rockin. Car Painter is down for Chris. 40-24. James doesn't have as much. James doesn't have a lot of healing items, I don't think. James is gonna have to use that life up, go back to max HP. This one should do it. All right, Carpenter down for both runners. Both runners having much better luck than I did with Carpenter, but that's all right. I think we're about 25 seconds apart. Chris has still got a slight lead. So I'm excited that that both runners got through it without too much of a headache. Was it a heal on the shield turn? I didn't even. No, it's if you heal on a lightning turn, that's the issue. Don't heal on lightning. For those that don't know, fun fact: there's some sort of glitch. I don't even know why, but if you try to do a life up on the turns that Car Painter heals you, somehow like I don't remember if your life up actually gets destroyed, but the lightnings that do hit you do get destroyed. And generally, it's a good thing to keep in mind because you never should heal on a lightning turn. If you're too low on HP, you're going to heal on his life up or his shield turn. And if you have a good amount of HP, you're healing on his attack turn. You should never have to heal on a lightning turn. Yes, this is live. How you doing? Both runners grabbing Paula. I would assume both of them are going to do a mole death ward. So Chris is going to take an intentional red here. I'm having some lag issues on my side, so I apologize. I don't know if you guys are having it as well. Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry about that. Maybe not. You guys hear me? Okay, good. I'm having a lot of trouble keeping the streams going. Why is that? Okay. I think I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. All right, So let's see here. 4411, talk to Runaway 5. James has pulled even closer. 4411 and 24. We're 13 seconds apart. And actually, I think Chris took a little bit of a detour there. So we might even be a few seconds closer now. 29. We are 9 seconds apart. So if you thought races 1 and 2 couldn't get much closer, try this. 3 races in a row, back to back on EBSS, and we're at the end of Tucson within 15 seconds. Heiko, was it you that did the smash? I remember commentating that one. Hippie Manippy on Chris's screen. Oh, just now. I didn't even know that. That happened in someone's first round too. I don't remember. Oh, it was Zakubi. Zakubi had a smash on the first turn. Both runners doing a little bit of an odd movement to get into the Chaos Theater. It avoids a photo trigger that would take 20 seconds. Chris forgetting to talk to the woman first to get into the door. And we are 6 seconds apart. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Runaway 5 times 2, which I guess is the Runaway 10. Enjoy! Aw, yeah. We'll go over here, give the manager a wad of bills, which will help us get to 3 via Runaway 5 bus. I'm assuming with a race this close, both of the runners are going to do a right side bus. Chris gets a little stuck on the telephone pole there. James has a much cleaner one. So that lead has shrunk some more. We're looking at 48:39. Looking at a 4-second lead. These buses are chasing each other. Maybe they're actually part of the same gang. The band is so big, we actually needed 2 buses. So we're both going to 3 at the same time. All right, enjoying in the corner. Chris going skirt. And then James going in skirt. You got a PSI caramel? I didn't see that. Did you use it? Oh, that's how you had all the extra rockins. I gotcha. Chris's bus stops. James's bus plows into him. Oh no, we had a wreck. Alright, off to the graveyard. Alright, back to where RNG is a factor. It could be a clear graveyard and you just walk through. We could have to do some despawns. We could actually accidentally get in a fight or two. James getting that clean walk I'm talking about. And with, oh! There was a, what is it, a fly? There was a fly behind a tree. And there was for Chris, too! Both runners having a fly hiding behind the tree. James getting a bit luckier with the green swirl. He can just do an automatic run away. Chris not getting the green swirl. He had to use freeze with Paula, but that's going to be a one hit. And now Chris has some options because Chris is going to have fire with Paula. So instead of necessarily relying on Jeff's BBR for Boogie Tent, we can actually do some options with some rockins and fires. Something that he'll have to consider on his own. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. But James has now taken the lead with that change. It's not a full lead. The delta you see now is not truly James's because Paula's levels, she's gained a few levels already that she won't have to gain against Boogie Tent. So Chris is going to gain a little bit of that time back at that point. The Caster Curse. Man, I just didn't want a free graveyard. I wanted something to talk about. So now we're starting Winters with my boy Jeff. In past years, Jeff got a lot of hate. I don't think he gets as much hate anymore as he used to. So that's good for you, Jeff. You really, or I guess as Mean Girls. 4 for you, Jeff. You go, Jeff. Doesn't quite work the same when you don't have a 3-syllable name, but we'll work on it and get back to you. Jeff's good. You got that, Chris. For that, you win. Jeff, stop letting me down. You have to not let Jeff down. Have you thought about that? Dude, I love Mean Girls. Every October 3rd, me and my wife tell each other, it's October 3rd. Gonna go to the lockers. I'm interested to see if either runner does. Let's see. Yep, James is getting rid of the broken spray can. So it's a few extra cursors and a little bit extra text here at this point, but it's actually going to save us down the run. It's going to be fewer cursors the second time he's in the room. It's going to be less text when you're staying in the tent near Tessie. The only reason you might want to keep it is if you were to die and you need the extra money. You can sell it for $250. But James knows how close the race is, so he's just going to opt to go ahead and get rid of it. Chris, on the other hand, actually does keep it, at least for the time being. You can get rid of it later, but the longer you hold on to it and then get rid of it, the less that it benefits you to get rid of it. So, yeah, it looks like Chris is going to hold on to it the whole time. So we've got the options there. Good old Bubble Monkey. For anyone that's not aware, in speedrunning we hate Bubble Monkey because we try to get around enemies and use pathing that is, gonna keep enemies away from hitting the party. But Bubble Monkey likes to stop, and then an enemy hits him, counts it as the party, you get into the fight. Also, Manip creators hate him as well, because that has to do with a bunch of RNG. So, as I mentioned earlier in this race, you've got NPCs that act as RNG. Well, essentially, you have an RNG machine tagging along behind you now. So right here, James is gonna get I don't know, telepathy? Shoot. Paula's gonna speak to him, and then he's on his way. Where Chris, however, is gonna get Paula to speak to him, and then Chris is gonna fix the broken spray can and become the defense spray. We're talking minor, very minuscule time saves, but they are there. Yeah, I know the word. Is it telepathy? Is it? I don't know. I don't know the right way to say it, unfortunately. Topolothy. Perfect. That is what I'm calling it now. But in the meantime, the best NPC in this game, Tessie, is going to take us across the lake. And then we wave goodbye to Tessie. Yep, the defense spray. I mean, it's like I said, it's not a big thing at all, but it's just there's been a bunch of minor optimizations that some of us have looked for in the Boogey run. That happens to be one of them. I don't know how much time it saves. It might be a second. I would be surprised if it's much more than that, but just some different options for different people running the game. Protoplasm! Hoping for knocking him down in 3 hits. Hoping that he doesn't kill you first in 3 hits. And that he doesn't call for help. That was a good one with James. Making some good quick work of it. The failed call for help from Chris is really good. Like to see that. James not going for the duck skip. I respect it. It's a weird spot. Chris getting through Proto 1. Good stuff. Every now and again, the duck can be really aggressive, or it can even get lucky enough to do a smash, but it's fairly rare. In general, you're just trying to get through. Chris was so close to a duck skip. The duck was not paying attention. He caught Chris at the last second, though. James setting up that good skip. Bubble Monkey coming through, not stopping middle of the trick, and getting through, not having to fight Proto 2. So James is on to Pond Cave. Chris unfortunately does get the reason we hate Bubble Monkey right there. So he does have to fight Proto 2. James is going to do some magnificent stutter steps here to get around these slugs in this very tight area. Good stuff, James. This area here is a bit wider. Doesn't have to do as precise as stutter stepping. Room 2 opens up clean. That's good. Gives you some faster despawns for the rest of the room. Chris having to go back through the door a couple times. It's a 60% spawn plate, so you expect to go back through it a few times. You just hate to have that problem while your opponent is getting through Pun Cave pretty cleanly. James is thinking about pulling the mushrooms down. It's going to be close. Yeah, I respect the despawn on that one. Chris opting not to do that stutter between both enemies because they could both come down on you and you don't really have anywhere to go at that point. But James making it through Pond Cave with an amazing time. Forgive me if I'm commentator's cursing, but this is 105 to 106 pace. Chris is going to get a free top part of the room. Use that present to block the mouse. On to room 2. Yeah, both of these runners are having really amazing times. I know this isn't what Chris is wanting, losing to James on just enemy spawn RNG, but I mean this is a time to be proud of for sure. James gets a nice, what is it, about 2 minutes, 15-second cutscene. Gets to put his controller down for a second. Chris using the bad key machine. No! It's only about 2-3 second time loss. No big deal. I think James got out of Pond Cave at a mid 100. That one mushroom at the top. The other two are going to get stuck. So Chris is roughly 2 minutes back. That's not out of the realm of possibilities. James could have a very terrible Boogey fight, or potentially get in a fight along the way. There's still a lot of options that could still go Chris's way. Ooh, Chris almost getting in trouble with some cavemen. Glad he dived out of that one. Always possible to rip on Boogey, for sure. I think James has been favoring the defend BBR strat recently. I think he also favors the getting the bear strat, so that would be my prediction on what he does. Gets the bear, defends, make sure that BBR gets off with Jeff, and then reevaluate at that point how much HP Boogey Tent has left. If any, potentially Jeff kills him in one hit. That would be the ideal scenario. I guess the ideal scenario would be to kill Paula and then wait and then use the BBR with Jeff, but I'm pretty sure he'll be happy with a one-turner if it comes around. I haven't been told that they're not, Mozzie. I'll put it that way. And the door tech skip. Good stuff, James. Yep. There's the teddy bear. I mean, a normal race, you can see how far ahead or behind you are of someone, so it makes sense in here as well. Like a, you know, car race or a horse race or something. All right. Yep, there's the defend BBR. 618, that is a one-turner. GG to James. Depending on the level ups and mashing, that might even be a 105. But James is going to take the cake on that one. Chris is still, he still needs to be fighting for a really good time. It's going to help his average for all the races as we move on to the bracket stage. So he stopped the timer at 106. I feel like that was a 105.59. But regardless, wow, that time. GG to James. James doing, yeah, 105.59. James doing James things for sure. So, GG there. But we still got Chris, who is looking really good. I would say around 108 flat, maybe? Or a low 108. Hamburger to heal Jeff to full, just to make sure that Jeff doesn't die first turn hit before the BBR goes off. Chris is going to lead with the Rock and Fire strat. So he's going to go all out attack turn 1. Jeff gets to live, no problem. 114 is really high. Jeff needs about 400. The tent has like no HP left. As long as this rocket hits, it's done. And Boogey tent's down. GG to Chris. It's going to be a 108 for Chris. So I just want to point out that the runs today, the 3 runs that were rebroadcasted on EBSS, 108, 108, 107, 110, 105, 108. That is top tier material. All 6 runners. Shout outs to everyone. This Earthbound Super Series, I think we're in for a good one because this is only round 2. We're not even in any brackets. These are just people that have won one race, and James has now won his second.